The trade union movement recognises the difficulties that we face and the crisis which will bring us to our knees in generations to come. And we must speak now, not just for ourselves, but for our children, and for our children's children and generations beyond that. That is the size of the crisis that we face in relation to this. But, as Joe has pointed out very wisely, this burden should not fall unequally on anyone's particular portion of society. It has to be a just transition, and we have to ensure that fair play is between the North and the South, and between the people in this country and our various economic interests holds sway. Why should trade unions speak on this business? Why have trade unions anything to say in relation to this? Trade unions have something to say because trade unions represent the interests of the workers who choose them to lead in this particular situation. There is an importance, not in anybody handing down solutions to everybody else. The importance in this matter is that we should raise consciousness. And the way we raise consciousness is through debate. We must seek to raise this matter at every platform, in every organisation of which we are members, and in public discourse. This is the vital point. It is only through debate that clarity will be brought to bear on this issue. It is only through debate that we will force our politicians to recognise that we hold this issue as central to our children's children and to ourselves for our futures.
The old way is rapidly changing. You can hear them at your front door, kicking down the door with the times they are changing. So people, they gather from all over the land. You can see them smiling, you can see them glad that they're getting active now for the change that must be had. And their homes are threatened and in danger, but you have to get ready for the change that's to come, or the times they are changing.
Back in 1995, the COP first met. I was 13 years of age, and I was beginning to become aware of global warming, as it was called back then. And 25 times since then, these leaders have met. And 25 times we've heard the rhetoric and the promises and the false solutions that they were going to deliver for us. And now I have a 13-year-old son, and his generation and his sisters are facing into what is a disaster going forward. His generation will live to see the worst effects of climate change. And it's like a case of, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 25 more times and, shame on the system. I was looking at the government climate action plan that was just released this week. And it's, again, like Greta Thunberg said in Glasgow, it's just more blah, blah, blah. More rehashed failed policies that are not going to solve the problem, especially for people in the West. For example, on transport, there is nothing about electrified rail or the Western Rail Corridor. Not a single thing. There is nothing about public transport in terms of being free, frequent and green at the point of use. There is this crazy idea that the majority of people can actually afford to buy electric vehicles with a starting price of €25,000. The vast majority of people can barely afford the cheap banger on Dundee, and they expect us to be able to buy electric vehicles. This is and the loan scheme that they're offering is just a subsidy to the car sales industry. in terms of the electricity to supply these electric vehicles. How are we going to do that when we can barely prevent power cuts happening right now? We've got data centres, guzzling data centres, that are going to take up 30% of all electricity by 2030. 70% of all the new renewable will be taken up with data centres. They don't even provide a decent number of jobs, and they guzzle water on a colossal scale.